mummies with the maggots now.
Boogeyman band coming round the bend. Is Boogeyman band. Is Boogeyman band.
Greetings, my fellow Fright Fiends, and thanks so much for dropping by the Horror Zone channel. I hope everyone's doing well. Today's video is going to be my thoughts on the brand new film in the Evil Dead franchise, Evil Dead Rise, which I actually just went and saw today. Here's my ticket. I actually went to see it at a different theater than I usually go to. Usually I go to Brendan Theaters, and they don't give you tickets anymore. And I really like getting tickets. I'm old school like that, but a lot of things don't give you tickets anymore. But I went to Cinemark, they still give you tickets, so I'm happy to have this. And I was really excited to go see this film. I am a casual fan of the Evil Dead franchise. I do like all of the films. I did see Evil Dead, the 2013 remake, which is crazy. It came out 10 years ago. Did see this in the theater. Some friends of mine at the time, my friend Joe and his girlfriend Brianna and my wife, we all went and saw this when it came out. And I had a blast with this film. It's not one that I've revisited very often, though, in the last 10 years. I've probably only seen this film about 4 times. And just the other day, I rewatched it ahead of seeing the new film, and I really still had a good time with this film. I think the effects are amazing in this. I think Fede Alvarez did an amazing job, and I think Jane Levy as Mia absolutely kills it in this film. And I was really interested to see what they were going to do with this new one, since for the first time in the Evil Dead franchise history, which started in 1981, this film was not going to be taking place in the woods or in a cabin. I know Army of Darkness, it was back in medieval times, but this is the first one that's actually taking place in a high-rise building. And I just thought the idea of it sounded really interesting. The trailer just blew me away when it premiered earlier this year. And I was just like, yeah, this looks like a kick-ass time. And yeah, I'm really excited to talk about it today. In the 5th Evil Dead film, a road-weary Beth pays an overdue visit to her older sister, Ellie, who is raising 3 kids on her own in a cramped LA apartment. The sisters' reunion is cut short by the discovery of a mysterious book deep in the bowels of Ellie's building, giving rise to flesh-possessing demons and thrusting Beth into a primal battle for survival as she is faced with the most nightmarish version of motherhood imaginable. The movie stars Lily Sullivan as Beth, Alyssa Sutherland as Ellie, Gabriel Eccles as Bridget, Morgan Davies as Danny, and Nell Fisher as Cassie. The movie was produced by Bruce Campbell and Sam Raimi and was written and directed by Lee Cronin. So a little trivia on the film. Director Lee Cronin stated in an interview that 6,500 liters or 1,720 gallons of fake blood was used for the movie. The movie was shot in chronological order. On the Extra Vision podcast, Director Lee Cronin revealed that all the characters' names were named after actors that had previously appeared in the Evil Dead series. Lee Cronin shared that the name of the building the movie takes place in, the Mondi, is an anagram for demon. Now again, this will be spoiler-free, as I always do in my video reviews. I don't like to do spoilers. I want everybody to experience the film for themselves. This year has been kind of weak for me film-wise. I loved Scream 6, as everyone knows, because I did do a review on this channel about that. One movie I didn't talk about on this channel was John Wick 4, which I also thought was absolutely fantastic. And I will say that Evil Dead Rise is competing for my favorite film in the Evil Dead franchise. I need to rewatch all of the Evil Dead films. Evil Dead 2 and Army of Darkness are really low for me. I haven't been the biggest fan of those. I love the original Evil Dead because I remember seeing it for the first time on Halloween night in 1994 at a friend's party, Santi's party. He had a bunch of people over at his house. My friend Mike Dodson and I were there. And I remember they were watching Evil Dead, and I had never seen it before. And it scared the crap out of me. And I never got to finish watching it that night. We left, and I remember I rented it maybe a week later and watched the full movie and absolutely loved it. Like I said, I really enjoyed and really loved the Evil Dead remake, reboot, whatever you want to call it, from 2013. I remember that caused a lot of controversy because people didn't want anybody touching it. And yeah, I had a great time with that. It's gory. It's rough to watch. Just watching it again the other night, I just remembered, like, oh man, I said, this has some gnarly graphic moments in it. And I haven't even seen the unrated version of it. And I think what it was about this new film that really got me is the family dynamic. Now, I didn't really like a lot of the characters in that 2013 film. I mean, we didn't have Ash. It was the first time we didn't have Ash in one of the films. But outside of Mia and David in that 2013 film, I didn't really care for any of the characters. Now in this film, I liked everybody. And this is my first time watching a film directed by Lee Cronin. I know he did a movie from 2019 called The Hole in the Ground, which I haven't seen. But this guy's phenomenal. And visually, this film is absolutely amazing. I love the different camera angles that he uses, especially the one that he uses to establish the building. It's shot from like this angle like this where you're looking up at it. And I just really thought that was really, really interesting. Also, the characters. The characters are very well established. You understand who they are right away. And I was just blown away by how great all of these young actors were. And some of the, like I said, they were all unknowns to me. I've never seen any of these people before. But the characters of Cassie, Danny, and Bridget, Ellie's children, all three of those actors just blew me away, especially Nell Fisher, who played Cassie. And I just could not believe the range this little girl had. And I just, I didn't know what she was going to be like based on the trailer, but I really just thought she was phenomenal. And also the character of Beth, played by Lily Sullivan, she's great. And Alyssa Sutherland as Ellie, my God. And I think that's why I had just such a stronger connection to these characters, is that they were relatable. Ellie and her husband have broken up. He's left her with the kids. She's raising them on her own. Beth shows up back on her doorstep, having found out that she's pregnant. And, they've been estranged for a while. And the building that they're in is being condemned. It's going to be torn down in like a month's time, so they're having to try to find a new place to live, and they haven't established anything. And Beth is needing family right now because of the situation she's going through. It takes its time to really get to the madness that we come to expect from an Evil Dead film. And in that time, that development time, you really come to care for these characters and understand each of, the struggles that they're going through right now. And then you bring in the elements of Evil Dead and the Necronomicon and the Deadites, and it was amazing how this film worked. The thing that I love that Lee Cronin did is, again, establishing characters, slow build, not everything being a jump scare. The other thing I loved is that when things happened, a lot of times it was done in shadows. There's a couple of moments that happen in this, and it's done through, it's implied. It's not outright just shown in full glory. And I think that works sometimes. I think seeing less is more sometimes. And I think he really did a great job with that, playing with shadows and playing with sounds and things like that. It just really brings you into the moment, and it made things more terrifying. Also, the building is a character in its own, because it's this condemned building that's falling apart, and there's only a handful of people that still live there. And it was a nice change of pace, instead of it always being in a cabin, always being in the woods. And don't get me wrong when I say that it's not as brutal as the 2013 film. There's still some very brutal moments, and I think they hit harder for me because I cared so much about these characters, so much more than I did for the characters in the 2013 film. There's some moments in this that really broke my heart, and there's also some moments in this that really made me just almost jump out of my seat, like with excitement, like going, oh my God, like how awesome was that? How gnarly was that? And again, it all comes down to the director's vision and his storytelling techniques, and I think Lee Cronin just did a phenomenal job with this. And I would love to see another Evil Dead film and not have to wait another 10 years for it. Like I said, I have to go back and watch Evil Dead 2 and Army of Darkness, but I am thinking about planning to do a Evil Dead ranking. I do want to see Evil Dead Rise in the theater again. My buddy Kanan Becker over at Ghost Pirate Entertainment said he's going to go see it again as well. He wants to go see it at the drive-in. He loved it. I loved it. Seems like that's the general consensus. People love this film, and like I said, in a year of mediocrity with films, I've just seen so many bad films this year. I can only say that I've loved 3 that have come out. And this might be beating Scream 6 for me, because I loved Scream 6 and I loved John Wick. But Evil Dead Rise is absolutely fantastic. It was such a joy to watch something that was so well done, so well written, acted, pacing was great. You were invested in these characters. It left you on the edge of your seat. You just wanted more when this film ended. Fantastic film. Cannot rate it high enough. Easily, Evil Dead Rise is getting 5 skulls. So that is it, my fellow fiends. It's been a while since I've done a review outside of my underrated horror little segments that I did with The Edge and Shutter Island, but I am going to be bringing those back. I do have Knowing and Blue Steel that I will be doing in May. Sorry that there's been a little bit of a lull, but just been trying some other things that I'm interested in. Like I said, it has to be where my heart is, or I just can't talk about it, because then I just feel like it's just not genuine. But Was so happy to see this film. Go out and see Evil Dead Rise. It is such a ride. I want to see it again. It was a blast. I had such a good time watching it, and I cannot wait to own it. I can't wait to watch it again. So absolutely go out and check it out, and let me know if you guys have seen it. Leave some thoughts down in the comment section below. I would love to hear from everyone. Also, want to give a quick shout out to my hero, somebody I really admire and respect, Sean Clark, Horror's Hallowed Grounds. He just did a brand new Horror's Hallowed Grounds that dropped on the 21st, the day that Evil Dead Rise premiered in theaters, visiting the locations from the original 1981 classic Evil Dead in Tennessee. I'll put a link down below. Check that out. It's a blast, and he's the best when it comes to on locations. I've been following the guy for quite a while now. That he never disappoints. The guy does amazing work, and I love watching his on location videos more than anybody else's. He just does an amazing job, and he's the inspiration for why I go out and try to track some of these locations down, like I did for John Carpenter's The Fog. I want to thank everyone for the support on that one as well. Thank you so much for the feedback. I promise I am going to get back to everybody's comments and questions. Sorry it takes me a long time, but my work has really been draining lately, and it's kind of hard to sort of try to balance everything. But I am doing the best I can, and I do appreciate everyone's time and checking in and watching the videos and recommending them. Thank you so much for all of this. This is all just fun for me. It's a hobby, and I really enjoy doing it, and I have some really good stuff that I planned for the next coming months. And thanks so much again for watching, and I promise I'll talk to you again real soon. Take it easy. Stay scared as always. Fright Fiends, just want to say thank you again for supporting Boogeyman Ben's Horror Zone. If you're brand new to the channel and you haven't yet subscribed, please hit the subscribe button down below. Hit the bell notification so you're updated every time I drop a new video. I typically do this once or twice a week with new content. I've been doing this for over 11 years, and the horror genre is a passion of mine, and it really means a lot to me that I can share that passion with all of you guys. Thanks so much again for the support, and I'll talk to you again later. Take it easy. Stay scared as always.